Yo, what it do, buddy? I'm Arctic. Hope you're having a good day. Texas Chainsaw Massacre just revealed the patch notes for tomorrow's huge updates. Let me tell you, there's lots of changes to maps, changes to characters, nerfs and buffs, and all that good stuff. Just take a look at this huge patch notes. They said there's about 250 changes. Heck no, there's like a million in here. We still scrolling. Holy zoe mama. So yeah, I'm gonna tell you right now, we are not gonna be reading every single one. So I am gonna have this patch notes link in the description. So if you want to check out everything, feel free to go check it out. So I am gonna be picking and choosing throughout this library of patch notes. I am going to be speedrunning this as well because, hey, I'm not a reader, I'm a gamer, you know what I mean? So without further ado, let's get it. Alright, first off, thank you Sydney Silva for the patch notes. This update comes out tomorrow, November 28th, around roughly 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Set your alarm clock, boys. Alright, first notable change that I found is they fixed strength attribute description. Strength attribute description now includes barging doors as affected by strength. So yeah, this whole time I had no idea that putting points into the strength attributes actually affects the family members when you stun them with the door, but I guess it does, so that's cool to know. Next thing they fixed is hitchhiker 3-trap insta-kill. We have fixed an issue that allowed the hitchhikers to place 3 traps next to each other, resulting in insta-kills of victims. That's a cool fix. I had no idea that was a thing. Next fix is for the saboteur perk and the fuse box. We have fixed the saboteur perk to now affect the fuse box as is stated in the perk description. Here we have more important fixes for perks. The no cell and Leatherface revved up attack. We have fixed an issue causing no cell to not properly trigger when being hit by a revved up chainsaw. The next fix is choose flight stutters. Resolved an issue causing a stutter or laggy appearance when using choose flight. I'm glad this one's getting addressed. So if you had the perk choose flight on and every time when that perk refills, there was always like an instant stutter or lagginess to it and it actually slowed you down, which can kill you. So I'm glad that perk's getting fixed as well. We got a grandpa fix for the perks. Fixed grandpa perks so that they stay equipped from match to match. Next thing they fixed is going back to no cell disabled after being trapped. Fixed an issue that would make no cell not function as intended after stepping in a hitchhiker trap. Here's some more fixes. They fixed the blood trails. We've have matched up the victim blood trails across all platforms. So every time when victims leave those blood trails on consoles, you were able to see them clearly, but on PC you weren't. So now they're matching the PC version to the console version. Next fix is a grandpa perks UI. An issue has been fixed that caused the grandpa perk icon to not be highlighted as active if the level has been skipped by excessive feeding. Next fix we have is turning off the valve. Fixed a bug that will allow the family to turn off the pressure valve too quickly by using their ability while interacting with the valve handle. So that was basically an exploit. Glad they're fixing that. Alright, so now we're getting more into the juicy stuff. So the first major change, character outlines when making noise. We have changed how characters outline functions when triggering noisemakers. Players who make noise will now have a red noise outline attached to them for a few seconds. Making noise with bone charms, nuggets, bone piles, door slams, and toolboxes will be affected. Sliding metal doors will not. This is intended to incentivize stealthy play. They added the option to quickly mute all players in a lobby if you wish to. Next change is auto crouch toggle. We have added the option to toggle auto crouch on or off. The option can be found in the input section of the options menu. We already have a first big change for the Nancy house map. Nancy's house valve tank locations. The team has incorporated feedback from the slaughterhouse map to improve Nancy's house. So by reading this, I'm guessing they were planning to place some valve tanks down in the basement, but according to the slaughterhouse feedback, how people want all the valve tanks to be upstairs, they did the same to the Nancy's house map. So all the valve tanks on the Nancy house will be upstairs. At least that's what I get from reading that. Next change is victim abilities at match start. Victims' abilities will now start the match with a 60-second cooldown. Holy! Next change, hitchhiker traps pressure valves. We have removed the safe zone in front of the pressure valve so that the hitchhiker can trap the device. So all you hitchhiker mains can now trap the valve tank, even though I'm pretty sure you could before, but I guess they just made it more easier. And next huge change, we got the gas station smoke room. We have added an electric gate to the smoke room exit. Not to toot my own horn or anything like that, but I knew they were going to do this. Just add an electric gate, so now you have to turn off the generator to escape from either of the exits, the gate or the gas station room door. And they also close the gap between the smoke room door and the side room. So no more wall gaps in that room. You just have to go straight for the door if you want to leave through the door exit. So that's a cool decent change to the gas station map. We're gonna have to test it out gameplay wise. Next change, the valve pressuring after close. When family members close the valve, it will now build pressure back up, reducing victim progress towards the gate opening. So personally, I do like this change towards the valve tank. I think it's just a nice touch. Next change is the variable lobby timer. We have changed the behavior of the lobby timer depending on how many players have hit ready. If 5 out of 7 players lobby hit ready, the lobby timer will drop to 30 seconds. I think that's a good decent change as well. Next change, Grandpa Awakened cutscene. We have removed the Grandpa Awakened cutscene. It has been replaced with his simple banner notification to inform players. So no more overheating of the Leatherface chainsaw and just no more interruptions basically. Here is the Leatherface requirement change. We have removed the requirements for Leatherface in every match. This change does not affect anything other than the requirement. maps, barricades, and family spawns are unchanged. So again, they did this because no one wanted to play as Leatherface and the match wouldn't start. So now you can start the match with like a Hitchhiker, Cook, and Johnny. But again, all the barricades will still be there. So if someone activates the fuse box and all the victims go running towards the basements, it's going to be a tough time for the family members to get to them because all the barricades will still be there. Watch, eventually as time goes on, people in the lobby aren't going to be readying up until there's actually a Leatherface in the game now. So people are going to be like, hey, we need Leatherface now. I ain't readying up until there's a Leatherface. And so that might happen and just causes more issues to the lobby wait time. You never know, man. We got more changes to the gas station fuse and fuse box spawns. We have changed the spawn locations for some fuses on gas station. We have changed a few spawns for the fuse box itself as well. This should help prevent scenarios where a fuse spawns near a fuse box. This is a nice change because sometimes the fuse box spawns in the middle of the map, you know, right next to Grandpa, and there can be a fuse item like in a shack 2 feet away. So I'm glad this is getting a change, and it'll be fun to like find the new spots as well. They tuned Cook's Seek ability consumption. We have adjusted the consumption rates for the Cook's Seek ability. His ability should now drain while searching for noises. His ability should now continue to drain while focusing on sounds. So as soon as you activate the Cook's ability, it'll start draining pretty much. They tuned map weighting in back end. We have opened up controls on the back end to adjust map weighting. Example, we can now make Nancy's house map weighted above the others. This can help make maps come up in rotation more or less frequently depending on settings. So since tomorrow's the update and of course we're getting a brand new map, they're gonna probably make it so that Nancy's house map is picked more in the rotation, and probably like a week or two later they're gonna weight in the maps to be even so we can play on all of them at an even rate. I think that's what this is saying. Moving on. Next tune is towards the gallows kills for Leatherface. We have raised the XP earned for gallows kills above the standard XP for any execution. We have also added a notification for the gallows kill when earned. So that's cool and it makes sense. Of course, he's doing a gallows kill, which is a special execution. It makes sense that you earn more points now. And also you'll get a neat little notification when you're performing a gallows kill to embarrass that victim. Or something like that. They tuned the Nicotero saw volume. We have adjusted the volume for the Nicotero chainsaw. The volume of the saw has been increased to bring it more in line with the default saw. So now we can't say the Nicotero chainsaw is a pay-to-win skin anymore. Sad days. Yo, this one's kind of a big one. They tuned Johnny's sprint attack. We have further tuned Johnny's lunge when attacking and sprinting. This brings him more in line with the family members. So this is basically a nerf to Johnny. So I guess now he can't run and swing his melee attack at the same time anymore? Or I don't know what's going on with this, but I'm pretty sure it's a nerf, and that's just a bummer. We don't have enough people playing as Johnny already, so now no one else is going to be playing as him. Here's some more nerfs. The Cook's Seek counter. We have adjusted the Seek ability to not detect victims who are crouched and moving slowly. Johnny's also getting the same treatment as that. It's down here. We have also adjusted the Hunt ability to not detect victims who are crouched and moving slowly. So again, Johnny with the nerfs. He's getting more buns and buns every patch. No one's going to be playing as him. Also, Cook got a nerf. Next in the tunage, we got Wake Up Grandpa. We have adjusted the threshold for waking up Grandpa. It should now require slightly more noise to wake up Grandpa on a victim side. Auto wake up events will still wake him up normally. So now it'll take longer for the victims to wake up Grandpa, which is kind of a buff for the victims, which is nice, I guess. Slaughterhouse balance. We have made various changes to the slaughterhouse in order to balance the map accordingly. Valve pressure tanks moved upstairs and out of the basement. That includes all 3 of the pressure tanks placements, so all 3 valves will be upstairs now. They also moved valve handle pickup locations to be farther away from the tanks. That's good. Slaughterhouse building door can now have a padlock added to it. Yo, that's actually a nice one. So you know that blue metal door that leads to the slaughterhouse building? The cook can now put a padlock to that door, which is nice. And they added more nuggets to the slaughterhouse building, added nuggets to the facility building. So now if the victims are in that building, they will have to be crouching and moving more slowly now to not wake up Nugget. Otherwise, the family members might spot them. Here is enough to one of the cook's perks. Security pins tuning. We have adjusted the security pins perk to only affect Cook's padlocks. So I believe this also affected the door that was under the padlock. So now that's getting fixed. Our last tunage I'm going over is well jump iframes. Previously, victims could be hit multiple times on their way down the well, creating various issues. Now being hit on the way into a well only damaged the victim once and then forces them into the well. Alright, lots of changes. Again, I do advise you guys to go ahead and check out all the other changes that I didn't mention because there are some pretty good ones in here. But again, this is like a freaking library in here, man. So yeah, looking forward to this update tomorrow around 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Stay tuned to the channel. I will be covering all the new characters like Danny, Nancy, and the new map. So subscribe, ring that bell icon to be notified every time we upload a brand new video. Have a good one, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace. So